Do you ever feel like you say you wish you do something, you say you wish you have something, but it's almost like it's just a wish. It's not a genuine decision that you're going to do something like, I want to lose weight, or I want to have a great relationship with my kids, or I wish I could do that sport. But we kind of say it, but we don't really mean it as a decisive action. It's not like we're saying, I'm going to now put in a plan, I'm going to do this, it's my mission for this year. Even our New Year's resolutions, do we genuinely believe we're going to do them? I mean, I do this all the time. I say things, I wish things, but I don't put a plan in place unless it really matters to me. And that's what I want to talk to you about today, is how do we get from the wanting to do something, the wishing it, that almost it becoming a I would like to, a preference statement if you like, to the actually making the decision, drawing the line in the sand and no going back until this thing is done. No matter how hard it is, no matter how many failures, no matter how many times it feels like I'm not achieving, it's how do you carry on when you can't see that feedback? And that's what I want to talk about today. So join me today, it's Sue Parker on the Freedom Project podcast, where we're talking all about decisions, the importance of making a committed decision when it comes to achieving your goals to have a freedom lifestyle. Okay, so we know that we are all guilty of taking on other people's perspectives and making them our core beliefs. You know, we had all this input when we were younger, our family, the expectations. If you're a woman, the expectation is often, what will you do to support your man or to support a family and be the primary caregiver? Even if you have other goals and aspirations in your life, they kind of get shelved because the expectations, the core values and beliefs that are put on us all the way through childhood and into adulthood kind of tell us that, and even the way that we see other people live our lives. And hence, most of us end up on a corporate career journey, a ladder that doesn't really suit most of us, doesn't really suit the modern life. It's such a traditional, old-fashioned model. It doesn't work for most of us. So we kind of get on this track and we don't question it. We're really passive. But also, when we do say about things, there's a part of us that has this limiting belief, this incredibly limiting belief that tells us we're not good enough, we can't do something. So we're not consciously making these decisions. We're just passively going through life saying, I'd like to do this, but that'll never happen. And we don't even believe it ourselves. So this sort of element is, these core beliefs, these unconscious things that are going on in our brain, is sort of driving the fact that we're not taking our personal responsibility of the decisions we make every single day. And I want to talk to you, I don't know about you, but I've read the book The Alchemist. I read it with my son. It's a really good book with a lot of strong messages there. It talks about personal legends, missions, omens, the fact that the journey is incredibly important in getting to where you want to be and becoming the person you want to be. And I think it's a really powerful story about a young boy who travels from Spain across the desert in search of his treasure by the pyramids, and ends up finding that the treasure was back in Spain all along. But if he hadn't gone on that journey, he wouldn't have travelled, experienced his personal legend, which is that he wanted to travel. And along that journey, what you realise is there's people that think he's stupid. There's people that tell him he's stupid. There's lots of things, barriers and obstacles. He gets, he has thieves that come and take all his money. He has lots of bad things happen to him, and he still perseveres, even though it's easier to just go back home. So there's a lot of messages in there that many of us can take away from. No, it isn't easy to make a bold decision that's different than what everybody else is doing. But the pioneers, or the people who are really living life on their own terms, following their own path, that is exactly what they're doing. They're drawing a line in the sand, they're making a decision, even if everybody else thinks they're stupid. And this is one of the problems we have. We take on everybody else's perspectives. There are too many chiefs in our lives telling us what we should and shouldn't be doing. And then there's us deep inside who are, programmed to keep us safe. Our brains are programmed to stop us from getting hunted by animals. So in the new world, that means keeping a roof over our head, keeping stable money coming in to put food on the table. These are the sorts of things that are our new wolves, if you like, from the old days. The things that we need to protect ourselves. Stay with the community. We all want a sense of belonging. We don't want to feel like the odd one out, the black sheep. It's called the black sheep, and it's to make people feel like that's wrong. That's different. You shouldn't do that. And this is where we're all getting it wrong. We're following the same path. We're following other people, following the sheep, rather than going, I don't have to do this. I don't need to do this. I don't want to. It's not me. So what I want you to do is I want you to really think about making a decision, a firm decision, not a wish list, but a committed decision. That's the underlined word, committed decision. When you do this, you're saying, I know it's a marathon, it's not a race. I'm not going to achieve it in the next 3 months. Don't be ridiculous. So you can scrap all these get rich quick schemes and all the rest of it. This is a marathon to set your life up the way you want, and you're going to enjoy that journey. But when you've made that committed decision, we don't want anything less. So here's what we do quite often. We say, I'm going to start a business, but if it doesn't work out, I'll just go back to my job. Or I'm going to start a business, but I've got my job and my career, and I'm going to carry on doing a course for that as well. So here's what we're doing. We're putting 50% of our effort in here and 50% over in here, and we're expecting it to fail. That's, we've not basically gone all in. We've not made it a necessity to succeed. There's this old story about the captain who took his ship of his army to an island on a ship, and when they got off the ship, he said to them, burn down the ship. They were about to go into battle. He said, burn down the ship. Why? Why are we burning down the ship? We'll have no way to get back. He said, the only choice now is to win this war. They burnt down the ship. They won the war. The choice was taken away. It wasn't that they had a backup plan, an escape route. They burnt their bridges. There was no going back. They had to be determined. It was a necessity in which to survive. And here's what we do with many of our ideas, our dreams. We just don't take that committed decision and say nothing else. I won't settle for anything less. This is what I'm doing. It's this or better. That needs to be our new phrase. It's this or better. So we burn our bridges, we burn our boats. We have no intention of going back over here. We put 100% of our effort over here. And that means we're not spreading ourselves thin. We're not half and half. We're not in both camps. We're not quite just committed. We're not saying it's a wish list. We're saying we're going all in. Then, when you make a committed decision, one of the key steps to do once you've made the decision, once you've finally decided what you want to do, is to take an action immediately. It can be contact somebody, tell somebody. It can be write it on your calendar to schedule an event. It could be to write some content there and then to put out on your social media that says, hey, I'm going to be talking about this a lot, or I'm really interested in this. Does anybody else know about this topic? It's actually taking an action. So we're actually going to talk about a few steps. We're going to talk about making a committed decision, taking immediate action, and creating a plan to make it happen. When you do those things really quickly in close succession, what you're doing is you're sending a message to your brain that we're going to really focus on this. We're really going to think about this. We're going to think about it every day, morning and night. We're going to really make this work. You make the decision, you take an activity. You're going to exercise this muscle, because the problem what we're doing is many of us have been passive, we've been flowing, we've been gone with what everybody else has told us to do, what we should be doing by societal norms and all that kind of stuff, and people pleasing, because we're really good at that. And what we're not doing is making a lot of decisions. So we actually become scared of it. We think we're going to make the wrong decision. So if you've got an anxiety over making decisions, there's only one way you're going to get rid of that. Make more decisions. That's the only way I got rid of it. And I would definitely let other people steer me. I would let other people tell me what we should be doing. And we just go with that because somebody else thinks it's a good idea. Was it making me happy? Definitely not. Did I need to make a committed decision? Yes. Does that mean I'm gonna make these people over here unhappy? I'm not pleasing them? Well, you can't keep everyone happy. Yes, I made many people unhappy with my decisions, and I'm going to again in the future, undoubtedly. But the point is, I'm comfortable with them. I'm doing them for the right reasons. And that's what you need to be too. You need to be comfortable with them and just start making little decisions that mean you're setting out your stall. You're being proactive. You're taking personal responsibility for who you are and the decisions you're making. Then when you're making decisions, it's okay to get them wrong. Yeah, we're going to do that. We're going to say, I've got this committed action, this committed decision. I want to create this business where I'm going to be serving, say, mums and dads. I'm going to be putting something out there to help them with their parenting, whatever it is that is your business idea. And you've got that committed decision, but you start to put something out there. You make a decision to go on a particular social media platform, but it doesn't work for you. You make a decision to contact a few people about being a guest on their show, and you find that the interviews don't really work for you. Your call to action isn't responded to. The type of audience that's listening is not yours. Just learn from it. Learn from it. Try something else. Try something else. Try something else. We're not giving in. Remember, we don't have that backup plan anymore. We have a committed decision. We've drawn a line in the sand and we're going to make this one work. We burnt the ship down. We're not going anywhere. We're going forward. We're going forward in this direction and only this direction. You've got to stay committed. You've got to be flexible because this is going to be a while. Remember to enjoy your journey. This is a marathon, not a sprint. In life, you've got to choose in every moment to look for the opportunities that's going to help you in that direction. If you make the wrong decision, don't worry about it. You can come back to that. You can discontinue projects that aren't working for you. But the point is you've made a decision, you've started, and you're not going back. You know why you're doing it. You look at your vision, you visualize it, you can sense it, you're creating it, you're building it picture by picture in your mind. Every little decision today, every little action will lead to your empowered future. So I hope that you will take some really committed decisions, that this has really resonated with you. So you're thinking, well, that's why I've not been getting anywhere, because my backup plan's over here and I've always got too many eyes on my backup plan. I've even in my mind, in my self-belief, I don't believe it's going to happen. So I've decided the backup plan is what's going to happen. We really need to get hold of our self-belief. We need to be able to visualize it, that vision. We need to visualize it often. And the only way you're going to do that is by priming your brain. We are going to adjust your subconscious so that it's always looking for it. We make committed decisions we don't go back on. We focus on our vision often, and we will build in our mind the vision of where we're going to be, who we're going to be, and how we're going to show up. And then step by step, we'll take this inspired action. And over a journey, and it might be a long journey, but over the journey, we will get to the life that we've been building for our family, for our friends, for everybody that we've been working for. I hope that you have a fantastic week, folks. And I can't wait to hear what your committed decisions have been that you've kind of been sitting on the fence of. So join me. It's hello@sueparker.io or pop over to sueparker.io over on the blog and drop me a comment because I'd really like to know how you're struggling with this. And if any of this is resonating with you because you're like, yeah, I've definitely been sat on the fence, non-committal. And I know that by going all in, and burning my bridges and sensing that there's no other way and really persisting with this. And what do you need? Maybe you need the support. I know for me, it was very much about having that encouragement around me as frequently as possible. And I had to build that, find that artificially. And that's what I want to create for you. So if you need that, reach out to me. For now, have a fantastic week, folks. And I will speak to you again very soon. Bye.